Football is a simple game, but sometimes it gives us nights that are anything but simple. They are filled with drama, passion, and moments that stay with us forever. The final between Portugal and Spain was one of those nights. It was more than just a game. It was a clash of neighbors, a battle of titans. Spain, with their beautiful flowing football, were the favorites. They had dominated the world stage for years. Portugal, meanwhile, were the underdogs, a team with a point to prove. They had the heart, the fight, and they had Cristiano Ronaldo. This match was destined to be a classic, a story waiting to be written under the bright stadium lights. The air in the stadium was electric. You could feel the tension from the moment you walked in. Thousands of fans, a sea of red and green for Portugal, and red and yellow for Spain, filled every seat. Their songs and chants echoed around the ground, creating an incredible atmosphere. Every pass, every tackle was met with a roar from the crowd. It was a pressure cooker environment, the kind where heroes are made and legends are born. For the players, this was the biggest stage of all. Years of training, of sacrifice, had all led to this single moment. The weight of a nation's expectations rested squarely on their shoulders, a heavy burden to carry into such a monumental contest. From the very first whistle, the game was played at a blistering pace. Spain, as expected, controlled the ball with their famous tiki-taka style. They moved it around with precision, probing the Portuguese defense for any sign of weakness. It was mesmerizing to watch, a symphony of short, sharp passes. But Portugal were resilient. They stood firm, organized and disciplined, refusing to be broken down. They defended as a unit, a solid red wall that Spain just couldn't seem to penetrate. They knew their game plan, absorb the pressure, and then strike on the counterattack with speed and power. The contrast in styles made for a fascinating spectacle. This Iberian derby was always going to be a tight affair, a game of fine margins. The history between these two nations added an extra layer of spice to the occasion. It wasn't just about winning a trophy, it was about pride, about bragging rights. Every challenge felt more intense, every duel more personal. The players knew each other well, many playing in the same club leagues. This familiarity bred a fierce competitiveness on the pitch. You could see it in their eyes, a burning desire to win, to be the one celebrating at the end of the night. The stage was perfectly set for a footballing epic. In games like these, you need your big players to step up. And for Portugal, their captain, their leader, did exactly that. Cristiano Ronaldo was simply on another level. He seemed to relish the pressure, to thrive on the big occasion. From the opening minutes, he was a man possessed. He demanded the ball, he drove at the Spanish defense, and he inspired his teammates with his sheer force of will. You could see him talking to them, encouraging them, leading by example. He was not just a player, he was a general on the pitch, commanding his troops and instilling belief in them that they could achieve the impossible. His performance was a masterclass in every sense of the word. Early in the game, he produced a moment of magic. Picking up the ball just inside the Spanish half, he skipped past one defender, then another, his feet a blur of motion. He then unleashed a thunderous shot from 30 yards out that cannoned off the crossbar. The stadium gasped. It was a statement of intent, a warning to the Spanish team. He was not going to be denied. Moments later, he did find the back of the net, rising highest to meet a corner with a powerful header that left the goalkeeper with no chance. The Portuguese fans erupted. Their hero had delivered. Ronaldo's influence went far beyond his goals. His work rate was immense. He tracked back to help his defense. He chased down lost causes, and he fought for every single ball. This incredible effort lifted the spirits of his entire team. They saw their captain giving his all, and it made them want to fight even harder. He was their inspiration. When a Spanish attack looked dangerous, it was often Ronaldo who was there, making a crucial tackle or a clearing header. He understood that winning a final required more than just skill. It required grit, determination, and a willingness to sacrifice for the team. As the match wore on, Spain threw everything they had at Portugal. The pressure was immense. But every time they attacked, Portugal, led by their talismanic captain, found an answer. Ronaldo was a constant threat on the counter-attack, his explosive pace keeping the Spanish defenders on their toes. They couldn't commit too many players forward for fear of leaving space for him to exploit. His presence alone shaped the tactical battle of the game. He was a one-man army, a force of nature that Spain simply could not contain. It was a truly breathtaking display of leadership and individual brilliance. The second half was an end-to-end battle, a real roller coaster of emotions for everyone watching. Spain, desperate for an equalizer, pushed forward in waves. Their slick passing created several chances, but the Portuguese goalkeeper made a series of world-class saves. One particular save, a diving stop to his left to deny a point-blank shot, was simply unbelievable. It felt like a pivotal moment. The Portuguese fans held their breath with every Spanish attack, their hearts in their mouths. The tension was almost unbearable, but their team stood strong, a testament to their spirit and organization, refusing to buckle under the relentless pressure. With just minutes left on the clock, the moment of destiny arrived. Portugal won a free kick in a dangerous position, just outside the penalty area. There was only one man who was going to take it. The stadium fell silent as Cristiano Ronaldo placed the ball down. He took his trademark stance, a picture of calm and focus amidst the chaos. He took a deep breath, ran up, and struck the ball perfectly. It flew over the wall, dipping and swerving, before nestling into the top corner of the net. It was a goal of pure genius, a strike worthy of winning any final. The stadium exploded in a symphony of joyous noise. That goal sealed the victory. Spain were broken. They had given it their all, but they had been beaten by a moment of individual brilliance from one of the game's greatest ever players. As the referee blew the final whistle, the Portuguese players collapsed to the ground in a mixture of exhaustion and pure elation. Tears of joy streamed down their faces. They had done it. They had conquered their rivals and won the trophy. The substitutes and coaching staff streamed onto the pitch, embracing the players in a massive group hug. These were scenes of unbridled joy, moments that they would cherish for the rest of their lives. The celebrations that followed were incredible. The Portuguese fans, who had been so nervous throughout the match, were now in dreamland. They sang their hearts out, waving their flags with pride. Seeing their captain, Cristiano Ronaldo, lift that gleaming trophy high into the night sky was a sight to behold. It was the culmination of a nation's dream. For years, Portugal had been known as a nation of talented players who just couldn't get over the line. But on this night, that all changed. They were champions, and they had earned it through sheer hard work, belief, and a little bit of magic from their legendary number 7. This victory meant everything to Portugal. It was their first major international trophy, a historic achievement that put their nation firmly on the footballing map. For a country so passionate about the sport, this was the ultimate prize. It brought immense pride and joy to the people back home, sparking wild celebrations across the country from Lisbon to Porto. This team would be remembered as heroes, the ones who finally brought home the silverware. The win was a reward for their golden generation of players. But more than that, it was a victory for the entire nation, uniting everyone in a shared moment of triumph. For Cristiano Ronaldo, this was the crowning achievement of his illustrious international career. He had won everything at club level, but success with his country had always eluded him. This victory silenced any remaining critics. It cemented his status as a true legend of the game, not just a great goal scorer, but a great leader who could carry his team to glory on the biggest stage. Lifting that trophy was the realization of a lifelong ambition. It was the missing piece in his incredible puzzle of achievements, a golden seal on his legacy as one of the finest footballers to have ever played the game. The impact of this win will be felt for generations to come. It will inspire young boys and girls across Portugal to dream of following in Ronaldo's footsteps. It showed that with hard work, dedication, and belief, anything is possible. This team proved that you don't have to be the favorites to win. Heart, passion, and a strong team spirit can overcome even the greatest of opponents. The legacy of this victory is not just the trophy in the cabinet. It's the hope and inspiration it provides for the future of Portuguese football, ensuring the fire of passion for the sport burns brighter than ever. Ronaldo's performance in that final was simply unforgettable. He scored 2 crucial goals, he led by example, and he inspired his team to greatness. He was the difference maker, the man who rose to the occasion when it mattered most. It was a complete performance, showcasing all of his incredible attributes: his skill, his power, his athleticism, and his unshakable mentality. He delivered for his country on the grandest stage of all, writing his name into the history books forever. It leaves you with one lingering thought. Considering the stage, the opponent, and everything that was at stake, was this Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest ever performance?